It's a living place, and it's a place where people can come and experience it for an afternoon, or they can volunteer and get more involved and learn more and help continue the story.
The story of Pioneer Hall began more than a century ago, and throughout the years, it has stood as a tribute to Washington State pioneers.
They made everything possible that we have here today.
Their story of courage, faith, and fortitude is reflected throughout this hall, in the exhibits, in the books, and on every wall.
It's just a wonderful place to come.
Even the smallest details of bygone days are meticulously recreated.
Their stories are here in the building.
Walking these ancient alderwood floors will take you to another time and place.
Life was much different 150 years ago.
Gary Zimmerman is president of the Fisk Genealogical Foundation, which has an extensive library housed on the building's lower floor.
Well, my joy is helping people find the truth about their own families, the background about their own families. I've been doing genealogy for many years. I've been teaching for many years, and this is one place where it all comes together.
As the historian for the Washington Pioneer Association, Gary knows this three-story building inside and out.
One is dedicated to John McGilver, the donor of the property, and the second plaque is in memory of Sarah Loretta Denny, who gave the money to build the building. This building was built in 1910, and it was built as a social hall for the members to have a meeting house.
A place to meet and stay warm by this magnificent river rock fireplace.
This fireplace, which was built in the original plans of the building in this format, includes two dates: 1853, when Washington Territory was formed in March of 1853, and 1889, when the territory ended and we became a state. This very large picture came later. It's a charcoal drawing of the D.B. Ward family that had come to the Seattle area in 1853 in the wagon train that came across Natchez Pass. That was the first pioneer crossing of the Cascades north of the Columbia River.
They were so courageous. It was just amazing.
Claire Rahm's ancestors were among that brave bunch of pioneers. Claire's great-great-grandfather, William Kincaid, was one of the wagon train leaders.
They came out of Missouri, and they were the first group to come directly over the mountains, the Cascades, into Puget Sound.
For 25 years, Claire visited schools to share the rich history of Washington pioneers. Because of her deep Washington roots, Claire's a member of the Daughters of the Pioneers of Washington.
The Daughters formed in 1911 a group of women here in Seattle, and decided they wanted to get together and meet. So much has happened in this hall. You think of the gatherings that they've had through the years.
The daughters of today still meet at Pioneer Hall. Each one has her own family saga.
They came in a wagon train from Ohio to Seattle. And the last part was by Indian canoe.
They came to Seattle in 1868. They came on covered wagon with their family.
My great-grandfather came around the Horn.
And on his ship was this magnificent bedroom set. It graces the second floor of Pioneer Hall.
And I think it's a beautiful set. I really cherish that bed.
In a quiet corner of the hall, you'll find the Daughters' reading room, stocked with Northwest history.
We're now in the Shirley Wright reading room, where the collection of the Daughters Chapter 1 books are kept. a collection of fiction and nonfiction by Northwest authors, and this fine collection of master's theses from the University of Washington. This is Richard White's thesis. He's now the leading historian of the Far West.
The role here is to remember our pioneers and what they left for us, and to carry on with that.
The daughters honor the pioneers by cataloging and maintaining an amazing historical collection.
Up on the second floor, we have the exhibits that deal more with housewares and the life of the families.
You see a little children's display. We have a little dresser that Henry Yesler made with no nails. It's interesting to look at it. We have a little cradle. A little premature baby was in there, pioneer time. And then we have some of our dresses on display up there. And hats. We have 200 hats.
Tucked away on the second floor is a fascinating set of personal and historic records.
So this collection here is the collection that we got from the State Association of the Pioneer Daughters. And what was particularly interesting was this collection from Mr. McCardle, who had kept an index of everything he read by making little strips and putting it in the notebooks, and it was rubber cement, so he could always change them so they were in alphabetical order, and then he would cut out the articles and put them in a scrapbook so that the index got you to a particular page where an obituary from many years ago in either a Seattle paper or Portland paper shows up. It's a very useful collection when somebody comes in to try and find out about their pioneer family.
Everything they did was so momentous. It was the start of schools. They wanted schools right away. That was so important to them.
The future generations will not know their heritage or their roots unless we have a place like this that they can come.
Pioneer Hall is a treasure trove of Washington state history. Within these walls are stories of sacrifice and struggle, triumph and tragedy, hardship and hope. It is a place to honor and reflect on those who made history in the great Northwest.